Yes, indeed. So we're back live on Talk Live on this weekend where Arsenal have to use dark energy to get through their harangues and hang-ups at the moment. Probably one of the biggest matches of our year right now. The Wolves are circling, and we need to strike back. Quite simply, with a nice chain link fence electrocuted. And because it is breaking down, guys, it is breaking down. So I'm counting on Arsenal to do their thing in the North London Derby, only one of the biggest derbies in the world. So, in the world of football. So, looking forward to that. But thank you very much for joining me here. Talk Live on IG, YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment on the road to 1,000 guys. We are back for Friday night Corey fights because Corey Holcomb is a jackass. Ladies and gentlemen, it cannot be stated any clearer. Let me hear something right now. Hold on a second. I may be importing some importations. So let me get out of here for a second and hear what's in the distance. Something in the distance is happening. There he is. There's Corey running his mouth. Yes, calm down. Let's go back to the original. Let's just stop it for a second right there. Giving away the preview, giving away the game just a little bit right there. So, there we go. We're finally back here on Talk Live on IG, YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment on the road to 1,000 subscribers. You're going to hear about that a little bit later. But right now, I hope you all having a great Friday. Things are warming up. Spring's around the corner. Looking forward to it. We're into February, ladies and gentlemen, to mid-February. We're past the Valentine's Day weekend. And hope you got some loving on someone. I know I did. But anyways, let's get into this. Yes, Corey Holcomb is a jackass, ladies and gentlemen. And it is abundantly clear that is indeed the case. Now, again, to his constituency, he may be this high-tooting gun flute. Well, not even gun flute. I don't know if he is a gun flute. But he sells a lot of wolf tickets, ladies and gentlemen. But anyways. It seems that Corey Holcomb has turned his ire on many a figure who do not deserve it, including the late great Kevin Samuels. So we're going to get into it there. Let's count the beefs. Poetic Flacco, Anton Daniels, Joe Budden, lead attorney. Also now Kevin Samuels, 5. And they just keep growing and growing and growing. And of course, the one and only Christina Payne and TMZ 7 beefs, ladies and gentlemen. It's 7 beefs, 7 beefs for 7 brothers. I don't know what it is, but Corey, I don't know what it. He just can't seem to stay away from controversy these days. We've asked him to get back to his comedy. Keep his head down and let the legal proceedings happen as they may. But now he and his lawyer, Mr. Dayron, anyways, they're just, I don't know, classless individuals who are only looking to save their own hides. And we're going to reveal that tonight on Talk Live. So let's get into it. It's Friday night Corey fights. It is Corey Holcomb is a jackass tonight. Hope you're enjoying your Friday night. I know I am a bit energized and got a little bit or a lot accomplished today, and looking forward to this as well. So let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not wait any more time with this. This show, Corey Holcomb is a jackass. Yes, indeed, you heard the name. And we're going to begin our sojourn with the one and only Poetic Flacco, one of Corey Holcomb's targets here, and he has a video up and running right now. And it is called Corey Holcomb Lies and Humiliates Himself in his latest podcast, indeed. And he is doing it. This Tuesday was an absolute train wreck. He fell to new lows on this Tuesday when asked to, quite simply, head towards comedy, keep this out of the mind's eye of the public. He's just riding this to the nth degree. And shout out to Lana BK on the IG and on the YouTubes. And let's just get into this, ladies and gentlemen, because this is just, it's a farce, quite simply. So we're going to lead it off with Poetic Flacco and his description of this week's proceedings. And thank you very much for joining me on Friday Night Corey Fights on Talk Live.
Everybody watching, Corey Holcomb is clinically insane. He needs to seek help. He keeps getting more unhinged as the weeks go by. We'll get back to the video shortly, but I wanted to let you guys know this video is being sponsored by Kalshi. Kalshi is an app where you can make money predicting about other men's sexuality. Now, I didn't know it was possible, but this podcast has devolved It has devolved into a podcast where Corey Holcomb comes and he talks about these aluminum helmets, conspiracies, and how he's at war and everybody is out to get him.
Here's the thing about Corey Holcomb, ladies and gentlemen. Before he gets into his tirade, if you are against Corey Holcomb, you're obviously gay. You are obviously part of the Alphabet Gang, and you need you need to be seeking out rectum reunification surgery. But don't tell Corey he needs to have well, some sort of phallic symbol being placed in his mouth, because then those are fighting terms. You can't accuse him of being part of the Alphabet Gang, but everybody else who's an enemy of his is definitely part of the Alphabet Gang, including the late great Kevin Samuel. So that is clearly where the lines of demarcation are, if he knows what demarcation is. Anyways, let's continue.
War with major devils that are after my good reputation. I didn't even want to bring you in this mess online because it's a war against me.
At first it was funny, now I'm concerned. Corey Holcomb is too old to be this delusional. There's not a grand industry conspiracy against Corey Holcomb. He got caught putting his hands on a woman on camera. The video came out and he got backlash for it. There's not a grand conspiracy. People don't like men who put hands on women. It's really that simple.
Okay, remember now, for everybody in the cheap seats, if you're against Corey Holcomb, you're gay. You must obviously be part of the Alphabet Gang. You must be part of the LGBTQ, HDMI, PS5. You must be part of that group. You must be. You must be. Shout out to I'm gonna get his name. I'm gonna get his name in a second, but clearly that is your constituency. You must be gay if you're against Corey Holcomb. Listen to me.
You don't gotta pay people not to like a man who put his hands on a woman. But Corey Holcomb comes on his podcast and he has a segment every week now about how the internet and the industry and TMZ is against him and they try to get him assassinated. At first it was funny. Now it's just damn right sad. Even his own audience is calling him out during the podcast for capping and lying and being delusional.
Yeah, half of the audience at Corey Holcomb's 5150 show are literally telling you're a liar and a joke. And you know the jokes you tell is the life you live, and the other half are his base, and again they are edifices of the lowest common denominator. Anyway, as much talent as Corey has, he's just wasting it with these beefs that he has. Let's continue.
Somebody saying, "Cap, you ain't never been on this side of the spectrum. You don't get it, bro."
But that's for them who at home. Yeah. There are some people who have planted themselves in here.
Right.
You get what?
We got a comment here from Lana BK. I wonder what happens if someone says he's. Oh no. We've already went there. He tried to fight Anton Daniels if by someone asking him to perform a how should I say, a homosexual activity. He those are fighting words to him. Those are fighting words. He wants to fight, but he will not go outside. He will not go outside, but he will try to mark you up and see you as one who is willing to fight. He's asking you to take back those words. That's what he's doing. But everybody else who's against Corey Holcomb is obviously part of the Backdoria / Alphabet Gang. Let's continue.
What I'm saying? And we're going to capitalize off them planting themselves in here. Because man, look, if you're here to talk about somebody, why the f*** are you watching them?
Because people love a train wreck. The numbers go up because people are watching you cry. Lawyer is crazy. A wise man once said the best way to get out of a hole is to stop digging. Corey, stop it.
Yep.
Corey and his attorney both look like they're related to Dr. Umar. You don't have influence over minds. We enjoy the train wreck.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are depths of depravity and stupidity that only the very few of us reach. Corey has reached those levels. He's absolutely gone there, and I am loving every minute of it. I look forward to my Tuesdays to have my nights entertained by a halfwit who can tell a joke. Let's face facts, but who has gone too far and literally has taken it to the streets in a negative way. And but remember, if you're against him, you are gay. You are gay. Just to let you know. But it's comments like these that Corey seems to shun and seems to pay a blind eye to, when in fact he should be taking heed to them because these are on his timeline. And I've implored Corey, please just get back to the comedy, get back to the current events, please get back to that. But he wishes to entrench himself with just stupid as individuals around him. Not to say his co-hosts are of that ilk, but one wishes to take up fights for him. The other one is just an innocent bystander. And then you have the lawyer who's quite simply, well, I know, he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Anyways, let's continue with this.
That's a fact. One person says, this is exhausting. Corey's loose talk about BS is really over. Corey has severely passed the point of bowing out gracefully. Might as well torch the place. He ain't effed up, LOL, but he on here explaining it every week. Corey is operating as if everybody else is the gesture and he's like the puppet master, when it's the opposite. Like Corey Holcomb, oh, y'all making me famous. Y'all making me famous. That was what he kept repeating during the entire podcast. Not understanding that you're Corey Holcomb. You were supposed to already be famous. You are becoming a locale. You went from being an esteemed member of society who people came to for advice or came to listen to you give opinions. Now they're coming to see you whine and complain. But Corey is operating as if he don't have a pea brain and a low IQ. He's operating as if he's smart. So
Absolutely right. Poetic Flacco puts it absolutely so eloquently. He's crashing out in real time, and we are here to watch it happen. Corey Holcomb and his attorney here, Mr. Dayron. I mean, it was just like it was comedy hour with these two on at the same time. The way they capped with each other, I don't know. I thought they were shaking each other's hands, if you know what I mean. But they were doing reach arounds with each other, and it looked really, really bad. But anyways, to be fair and frank, yeah, Corey's just he's lost the plot quite simply, and in order for him to save face, I implore him just to get back to what made him famous, and that is indeed dealing with certain issues, being a leader of men, and and telling joke, and being a comedic talent. He is a talented guy, but he is just being led down the wrong way, and he is here crashing and burning, and I'm here to see it. I am here to see it wholeheartedly, no joke. I'm here to see it, but the way he's acted this week, it clearly has denoted him in jackass levels. And you'll see more of it here on Talk Live a little later. But here he is with his lawyer, and the way he's capped out here. Listen, I'll do some, how should I see, play-by-play on this in a second. Let's go.
Corey brings on his lawyer in the beginning of the podcast. Now, his lawyer comes on, and they attempt to manipulate us and to convince us that Corey Holcomb is not a fraud. So the lead attorney, who's another content creator, he exposed Corey Holcomb for lying on him. The video of the lead attorney exposing Corey Holcomb did 285,000 views, which is why Corey Holcomb felt the need to do a hit piece on the lead attorney.
Everybody know who we talking about. Lead in a
nigga ass law. Okay, you know what? I love the name. I do love the name. It's absolutely fantastic. I think it's brilliant. It's original. It's rich. I actually laughed at that. That was lead in nigga ass law. I really like that. To describe the lead attorney. However, it's his. The way he tried to tear him down is absolutely ridiculous, and it shows the depths to which Corey has sunk in order to gain notoriety, and it is shameless in and of itself. Let's continue.
Is part of the crew to come at a. Yeah. Y'all was with me the whole time we saw him. Did we do anything to that man?
No.
I thought we showed him love.
Right. Yeah.
Man, this lying like a on the internet. This telling people, yeah, so I called Corey's lawyer and I told Corey's lawyer that Corey said I could talk to you. I'm like, man, what is wrong with this man? Why is this man lying?
Your attorney represents you and you alone. So the only person that can give him permission to talk to me is you. So he says right here, he says, let me check with Corey and I will follow up with you. But Corey, what do you think he responds? What do you think he says to me? Let's scroll down and take a look. He says he's gonna check with you, and then a day later, he says, I am cleared to speak with you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we went through this here on Talk Live last week. When our lead attorney literally has the receipts with regards to Corey Holcomb and the permission he gave to his lawyer, to his counsel, to speak to lead attorney. And if there is a faux pas on any level, it's with Mr. Derek Dayron, and also Dion Dare. I don't know what the hell it is, and the lead attorney. And not the lead attorney, and Corey Holcomb, because they gave them permission, but they retracted it. Now, they retracted said permission because they knew that, they wanted to close ranks. They thought that there was a hit piece coming out, when in fact, they wanted, the lead attorney wanted to hear the lead attorney, they wanted to hear Corey and Corey's counsel, Corey's lawyer's side. He wanted a balanced view. But again, these guys didn't want to come on. They retracted the statement, even though right here it's clear that Corey and Mr. Dayron gave permission to lead attorney to speak with them. Absolutely shameless. Stunning. But I want you to hear what they had to say when presented with this proof. Let's continue.
That means he checked with you, checked with Corey, and now he's cleared to speak with me. So now, Corey, who is the liar? It's either you or it's either your attorney. This is why I didn't say anything, because I didn't want to embarrass you. I didn't want to have to go and show DMs. Your attorney right here in black and white is saying that you gave me permission to talk to him. He can be on my show. I can interview him, and you were the only person that can give him that permission. This is what it says in black and white, but what are you going on your show and saying?
I did not give him permission to talk to my attorney about nothing, and he said I did. And I believe he saw that and knows that to be true.
What the leader?
He believes that. Does he know it? No, he believes it. He believes himself. And sometimes you can tell your life so many times that it becomes the truth to you. That's exactly what's going on here. He can't believe he gave permission. Oh, well, now, but, I retract this, so you got to believe me. Who's lying? The receipts are here. I'll let you to be the judge. Let's continue.
Attorney actually said was he was in contact with Corey's attorney. He might be interviewing him soon because Corey gave the attorney permission to speak to him. And that was facts. So instead of Corey Holcomb coming back and addressing how he got exposed, how him and his team, one of them lied to the lead attorney, either the lawyer lied about getting permission or Corey lied about giving the lawyers permission, Corey Holcomb came on his podcast to dig the hole deeper for himself. Instead of addressing the receipts and the things that matter, Corey Holcomb got straight to personal attacks. But the personal attack wasn't landing how he thought it would land because the fans could see right through it. The fans could see that he was slinging mud everywhere to take our minds off of how he got exposed and to deflect from the actual receipts and the actual conversation.
I said, wow, did people really fall for that? Because this is a liar.
Okay, here's where Corey Holcomb is actually catering to the lowest common denominator. If this includes you, please listen up because he's speaking to you right now. This is lower common denominator. Speak. Let's continue.
This man lied, and then I'm not a lawyer, but in court, that conversation he had with the people, I'm talking about leading law. He came back with a presentation of bullshit for the feeble minds, and I pray for the feeble minds.
I know, we should pray for you too as well, because you're the leader of the feeble minds. Let's continue.
Because they fell for that. I'm going to play.
Instead of telling us exactly how the lead attorney was full of bullcrap or what exactly the lead attorney said that was untrue, Corey Holcomb thought he was slick enough to throw mud in front of us and we'll be distracted. So him and his attorney, right, whoever this guy is that he's working with, they did some like elementary school games where they hopped on the phone and they called the state bar of Georgia, I believe, to confirm whether or not the lead attorney is actually licensed. As you listen to this, understand the lead attorney being licensed or not has nothing to do with the fact that he provided receipts showing Corey Holcomb and his attorney lied on the lead attorney.
Okay, here's where this is about as low level of lawyering as you can get. This is about as bad as it can get when it comes to lawyering. And as skullduggerous, look it up, as skullduggerous as you can be as a lawyer. When you are besmirching the name of another lawyer through, mudslinging. This is literal mudslinging. They have not a leg to stand on. The proof is there to be seen, and it's admissible in court. If you think it ain't, you should read your rules, but I know this is for the layperson, so please. But that is admissible evidence what the lead attorney had there in terms of text messages. That is admissible. But here's the deal. They have to save face. Corey Holcomb and his lawyer have to save face. So they went a very underhanded and nasty route and tried to out the lead attorney by calling him putting out their call that they made to the Georgia bar, asking what's the status of this lawyer, that being the lead attorney. Let's continue.
The lead attorney just simply defended himself. So all this other mess and nonsense is them trying to save face from being exposed as frauds.
My attorney called about this situation just to check something as thorough people would do. This is just a small chunk of what we have found with this guy right here.
You are saving face, Corey. You look desperate. You look diminutive, and you look quite idiotic. And there's nothing left to say here. You are grasping at straws. You are scraping the bottom of the barrel, and it looks bad on you. Let's continue.
This is a farce. But can you play that video when?
Membership, Rachel speaking.
Yes, Rachel. My name is Attorney Derek Dean. I'm an attorney licensed down here in Houston, Texas. And I wanted to refer one of my friends to a divorce attorney in Atlanta, but I wanted to check his membership status first.
Okay, what's the name?
His name is Jameson, Jameson, Corey with a C, and last name Campbell, Campbell.
Okay, Mr. Jameson Campbell is currently on inactive status.
Here's the thing about inactive status, ladies and gentlemen. This is the crux of the matter, that it never reached the top of Corey's brain. When you're inactive, that means that you have not paid the licensing fees and you wish to cease being counsel within your jurisdiction. It doesn't mean you're disbarred, doesn't mean you can't reinstate yourself to practice law. It's just that, listen, the lead attorney is making a good living on his platform, the lead attorney, and through his programs, that he doesn't have to go back to the law. It doesn't have to be his bread and butter. So instead of making himself active, he makes himself inactive. As you saw with one of the comments there within the literal vitriol that's launched Corey's way, Corey can still be a consultant within these parameters. He still has his law license. He just chooses not to use it at this time. That's what inactivity means. Now, here's what Corey does to try to, well, trick the lowest common denominator, those who do not do any analytical thinking. This is what he does in order to try to fool them, to bring them onto his side, because the people on his side don't exactly do research. They just listen to what Corey has to say and never do their own thinking on things. Let's continue.
Y'all heard that? First of all, most of you mother didn't even know his mother's name, and you believed in this mother. This won your heart with a nickname.
I have to reiterate, Corey Holcomb is 60 years old. What type of games are you playing? Who cares if he's licensed or not? That has nothing to do with y'all's situation. You got exposed because you lied on the lead attorney. He came back with receipts. And instead of you addressing the receipts he provided on how your attorney told him that you gave the attorney permission to speak to him, you decided you was gonna do these elementary school tactics. So he brings on his lawyers and they start to gossip like elementary school girls about, oh, we pulled up to his place and his place was in the ghetto. It was like, bro, this is, and he's doing this thinking he cooking, but the whole time his entire chat is just roasting him, destroying him.
See,
Here's the thing about it, right? These two are trying to save face. That is it. They made a mistake. They knew it. And this is their cover-up. This is called a cover-up, people. This is called spin. Spin is when you realize, oh, shit, we left our asses out there, and, okay, everybody's gay. That's the first thing. That's the first part of the spin. Everybody's gay now. Everybody's part of the LGBTQ, PS5, HDMI. Part of the alphabet gang. Everybody part of the alphabet gang first. That's the first thing. That's how you save face, number one. If you're a Miami, you're gay. Secondly, yeah, like a schoolgirl, remember, okay, yeah, okay, you're gay. Remember, it's very school-like in terms of their comebacks. And then secondly, they double down on things by trying to expose the attorney for being inactive. When you're inactive, doesn't mean that your law license you have been disbarred. When you're disbarred, then you can't practice again. It's not as if this man Corey Holcomb can't take up and start again and start his practice again, but he doesn't need to because he has a wonderful platform on YouTube which helps individuals out, and Corey is actually deciphering the law through said platform. But these shuck and jive idiots, quite simply, are trying to show you, how should I say, shell game you into thinking that Corey Holcomb is back representing the law, is not proper legal counsel, and is not to be trusted. Please, I ask you to do your research, but take it from me. If a man is inactive, it doesn't mean he's disbarred. Inactivity does not mean disbarment, but he's trying to cater to the lowest common denominator who will not do the research, who will not do the due diligence, and literally say, well, he's inactive, that means he's not a good lawyer. Let's continue.
the thing is that when he reached out to me, I was a little hesitant because his email, or within his email, signature block, there was no legal name, there was no office address, there was no office phone number, there was no office email. He emailed me from a Gmail account. I mean, I was just a little hesitant to deal with this guy.
And Mr. Deron, you have been caught out because you're the one who actually said, sure, I can talk to you. What reason does the lead attorney have to lie? What reason? What reason? Why would he have to lie? To be fair and frank, if you saw it on previous episodes, Corey here was making fun of Poetic Flacco, the host of this video, saying that he was a bit overweight. When actually Corey Holcomb is a lot more overweight than Poetic Flacco. Number one, and number two is his attorney's not exactly the best of health either. But he is not making fun of him or himself. So, anyways, let's continue.
Because, I didn't know anything about him. I wanted to vet him. I'm a trial lawyer, right? I've closed out 1,088 cases, 50 appeals. My cases have been in law books as binding authority. So I don't just go on popularity. I want to look into this guy, vet him, and check him out. And I was hesitant from the beginning.
Yeah, just when he said, "Oh, I'm clear to talk with you," yeah, you're real hesitant. You're really hesitant.
But, with him being an African-American lawyer, I'm seeing he has a big following. I'm like, this guy is legit. But because he lacks so many things, I was very hesitant.
Oh, very hesitant. So much so that you gave him permission to speak to you. Okay, all right. I see what's going on here. Please, tell me more.
But ultimately, after he insulted me on his show, I hired my private investigator who I talked to, and he gave me some information. But I also talked to my good friend Durante Partridge, who's an attorney in Atlanta, who stopped by lead attorney's office, and we have pictures of this, only to find that he operated out of a trap house in Atlanta that has burglar bars. Yeah, it's a trap house, burglar bars on the front door. It's a commercial mail place. I mean, this guy he's had the whole world fooled, right?
Yeah.
No staff, law trapping. I mean, this guy.
We got a picture of the place. Did you send them a picture of the place?
This a bad look, Corey. No.
Yeah. Continue. Sorry,
man. Especially an attorney should be this happy, this ecstatic, this reactionary to disseminate tea and gossip. Corey Holcomb told this man to get the pictures and look at this man's face right now, bro. This man is beyond ecstatic.
Let me tell you something. If you want to make fun of a man's home, maybe we can make fun of your man's hair. What's that? What's all that color in there? Huh? What? 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 Oh, it's all fair game now. Maybe we should make fun of that black soot on top of your forehead, Mr. Daron. Say what? Huh? What'd you say? Say what? Ah, okay. Don't like it, do you? Yeah. Okay.
Corey Holcomb told that man, "Hey, yo, you got the pictures?" Of course, I got the pictures. Of course, Corey. I'm sending to you, Corey. Like, sir, if my attorney is that ecstatic to be seen, I'm good, bruh. They did all of this, did this roundabout way, deflected for 30 plus minutes, just to circle back around to admit that the lead attorney was actually telling the truth. Yeah. That Corey's attorney did tell the lead attorney that he was all clear to speak to him after saying he was going to ask Corey for permission so he could be in the clear to speak to him.
You remember the part where you said, "I'm clear to talk"? I'm sure you were telling him, "Yeah, I'm clear to talk."
Right.
What about it?
I will break that entire story down. So when he reached out to me, I said, "Hey, I need to speak to Corey first to see if I'm clear to speak about this." I ultimately learned that he had been on your show. You talked to him. You guys were good friends. I'm like, "Oh, okay." And he's telling me that, "Hey, I want to support Corey." Oh, I'm clear for that. You're a good guy. You've been on the show, et cetera, et cetera. Corey's a very busy man. I'm a very busy man. You have to go through the ranks to get to Corey sometimes. So no, Corey did not clear me to talk to him. But at the same time, this guy's saying that he's a friendly guy, and he's saying he's here to support Corey. And I know what to say on a lawyer's show and what not to say. And anything I'm going to say is just going to help Corey. So I didn't think it was a big deal.
So
now to make this not a big deal. That's you gave the lead attorney permission to speak to you. Not a big deal. Not at all. No. Let's it's no big deal that Corey speak to him. Oh, he said what? He said what? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to defame this man's character. We're gonna have to throw him under the bus and also call him gay. Guys, if we could do all that at once or in many a show, it'll show how bad the lead attorney is. And also say he's inactive. Say he's inactive as counsel in the state of Georgia, please do that, because Lord knows, we have got to get this guy back for asking permission from us to speak to lead attorney to the lead attorney to get a balanced view. That can't happen. That literally can't happen, guys. We have to make sure the lowest common denominator among us do not know that the lead attorney went through proper channels in order to get an interview. Can't happen. Just can't happen. Unbelievably underhanded and simply childish on the part of these two individuals. Let's continue.
In other words, the lead attorney was 100% right in telling the truth, and y'all lied. All right, you told the lead attorney, I'm going to get permission from Corey to speak to you. I'll let you know when I'm in the clear. And then you responded back with, I'm in the clear. So you lied. So you lied, and now you're trying to pivot to, quote unquote, expose the lead attorney for not being a practicing attorney. Like, I don't know. I don't even know what was the purpose of this. Lead attorney has been told that, like everybody, that once he started YouTube, he stopped taking cases. Right? Like, he's a full-time YouTuber now. Like, he don't like practice law like in that sense no more, right? He's not taking new cases or trials. He's a full-time YouTuber. He already admitted this. So I don't even know the purpose of this. It makes no sense. Now, this segment was foreshadowing for how disastrous the rest of the podcast was going to be. After that failed segment, Corey pivots to talk about the pedo accusations for like the third show in a row. Literally, the last 3 shows has been TMZ is after me.
Literally, I feel sorry for his two co-hosts here. I really do. I really feel sorry for him, especially for Dee. Dee is an innocent bystander in all of this. She has an unsullied reputation, and I only hope that she gets away from this man as soon as possible if he continues down this road. Just get away from him. I know it's a check. I know it's notoriety. I know this is a platform which you have, built your name and growth, but you're an innocent bystander. You can just separate yourself from this man. And to the other co-hosts, I would say, listen, distance yourself from Corey Holcomb, because he's going down a dark path that you do not want to follow him on. If you do, hey, you have been warned. But I only truly, sincerely hope that you separate yourself from this individual, because he is literally crashing out. He is literally flaming up. He's literally flaming out. But don't call him gay. Let's continue.
Pedo accusations, freestyle, show over. So, right in order, all right? TMZ is after me, lead attorney, pedo accusations. So while talking about the pedo accusations yet again, Corey didn't offer anything new. This time around, Corey starts cosplaying as a tough guy. Starts telling people if they run up, there's going to be consequences for them running up. As if we didn't see Anton Daniels chump Corey in real life.
Saying something is not the same as doing something, but they want to act like I did something, and I tell you, it's not going to work.
This is a 60-year-old man. 60! Acting like a child. This is a 60-year-old man.
It's not going to work. In fact, you owe me for even printing that. I'll show you.
Man, where I'm from, you put a jacket on somebody like that without no paperwork, and that man is within his rights to off you.
Hey, look, let me say this, because you said that. Because you put that jacket on me, I'm afraid for my life, because I don't like nobody like that. Period. So if somebody is talking crazy to me in my face about that, I'm afraid for my life, and I will protect myself. So I'm telling you, whoever you are, if you run up talking crazy to me about that, I'm afraid, and I will do what I have to do. That's what I'm saying with that. You not finna do that standing in front of me, because I got something for that.
Tell me down below if you believe that he is well within his rights and he's about that life, or if he's selling wolf tickets. Comment down below.
I got something for that. Play with me like that in my face. Try me. Try me. I don't play like that, homie.
Where did this tough guy act out? Of course you play like that. Anton Daniels told you that you suck D in your face. And when you got up to try to give more face-to-face, he told you, let's go outside and squabble. And you ain't leave your seat, bruh. You almost 60 years old. You don't want to squabble, bruh. You don't want to fight somebody, man.
Nor should he. Nor should he. He should not want to fight somebody. But him selling all these wolf tickets, you're going to find out later on in the show what it's going to cost him. Let's continue.
What are y'all doing? What podcast, bro? About what boomers podcast? You 60 years old, man. Podcast about AARP or something, man.
Yeah.
You podcasting about running up in street fights when we seen your temperament when somebody says suck my we see the temperament. They tell us every week that they're not bothered, and then they come on a podcast to demonstrate how bothered they are by the YouTube critics.
The first hour of the show was dedicated to his beefs. Every first hour of his show is dedicated to his beefs. If that does not show someone who's bothered, someone who's clearly on edge, I don't know what is. And then he's the victim now of TMZ when when he's full and goddamn ready. So basically, he is a boss and he is a bully when it comes to certain individuals. But when the TMZ, oh yeah, I'm just a delicate flower. I don't understand the conspiracies against me. I can't face TMZ. Someone help me, please. Like a damsel in distress. But he ain't gay. Remember, he is not gay. He's not gay. But everybody else against him is. But he's not gay.
Corey Holcomb is going to get himself hurt badly, or he's going to get himself in a lot of legal trouble the way he's becoming more unstable as the week goes by.
I mean, we need to offer a reward. If it's any hackers out there, man, we need to put up some money. If you can find the origins of who's ever putting these videos out.
You could go to somebody's house as long as you say you're here to talk about God or Jehovah or somebody like that. Right. So you could show up and see who this mother is. And most of the time they...
Instructing your audience to hack into your YouTube critics to find out their identity is not a great idea, and it's not wise if you want to keep your YouTube channel. That's not wise, Corey. All right, that's illegal. That's a federal crime. Also, say you're gonna pull up to your YouTube critic's house to unmask them and to check them, and it's perfectly legal as long as you say you're a Jehovah's Witness. Do that and see how that plays out, bro.
And here's the thing about it, Corey. You're a public figure. So criticism against you is protected by the Second Amendment. The same Second Amendment that you thought protected you when it came to Christina Payne. The same Second Amendment that you thought was going to protect you against Anton Daniels' daughter. So anybody who criticizes you is protected by the Second Amendment. So if you violate the Second Amendment, guess what? Legal activities can begin against you, Corey. You don't want to go down that road against critics because you put yourself out there as a public figure. So you must have a thicker skin. But clearly, as seen on camera with Christina Payne, you don't have said skin. You have a lot of wolf tickets, but not the skin in the game necessary to take criticism. But you're not gay.
It's never this serious, man. This man, you would think he has not been a celebrity for almost 3 decades. You would think he's never been criticized. Corey Holcomb is now fully on the brink of a meltdown. He wants to pull up to YouTube critics' homes because they're criticizing him.
Nothing else to say here. Well done to the likes of Poetic Flacco doing wonderful things on YouTube Street. We're not done here, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out Poetic Flacco. He is to be commended. He started off on with the No Jumper podcast, and he's expanded out to in his own lane and doing wonderful things on YouTube Street, doing some great investigative reporting. Please subscribe, like and subscribe to Poetic Flacco doing wonderful things on YouTube Streets. A noted alphabet gang accused by the likes of Corey Holcomb and quite simply, you know, he's too pudgy for his own good, even though Corey is clearly larger than Poetic Flacco. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we leave it there. Shout out to Poetic Flacco. Let's move on to O'Shea Duke Jackson and and his video on Corey, on his take on Corey Holcomb this week. Corey just made this mistake with the lead attorney. You're going to hear from Corey Holcomb a lot within this video. Corey Holcomb a lot, of course, but you're going to hear from O'Shea Duke Jackson a lot in this video. He's done some great research on this subject, and you know, all the way from Uganda, he's doing wonderful things. So shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. Please like and subscribe to O'Shea Duke Jackson doing wonderful things in YouTube streets. And yeah, let's get into it with O'Shea. And this video here, Corey just made this mistake with the lead attorney, and let's get into it.
And this has a lot to do with the lead attorney. Now, the lead attorney eventually responded to Corey Holcomb's false accusations. He said that the lead attorney had no business saying he had permission to speak to his lawyer, Derek Dion. And he called the lead attorney many discriminating names, the lead and the Negro behind law, in other words, saying that lead attorney was gay.
Lead and nigger ass law. Anyways, I thought it was you know, a little bit funny anyways, but again, such are the comedy chops of one Corey Holcomb. But I wonder if we've seen through this before. It looks like we may have. I think he's just going over old news. Yeah, yes, quite sad. He's just rehashing things. So we're going to use another video from the one and only O'Shea Duke Jackson. But this is indeed what I want to discuss. Now, the Corey Holcomb controversy has many tentacles. It is spread out into different areas. That clash he had with Anton Daniels is he's giving content creators such as myself a lot of juice and a lot of ability to make videos such as this over the last days and weeks and months ahead. Probably right now is the Talk Live Man of the Year as of February 2026 is the likes of Corey Holcomb. And but again, this is a offshoot from the Corey Holcomb show, because now we have a side controversy brewing, and that is between Mika and Anton Daniels. Now, Mika is a content creator, a conservative content creator that is you know, is starting to gain some traction with on YouTube, on social media, and but again is a sort of a protege of the one and only Anton Daniels, and she could be seen on Room 9 and many of its platforms as a co-commentator. And it seems that that relationship between Anton Daniels and Mika is putting her in a lot of hot water. And we're going to see from this this interview performed here by with Mika that there's some stories to be told here between these two individuals. So let's get into it here. Anton never expected this from Mika. Yes, indeed. Anton Daniels has a bit of egg on his face here. And quite simply, shout out to the interviewer. We're going to get his name in just a minute. And yeah, I think he did a wonderful job with regards to this interview. And let's get into it. This video from the one and only O'Shea Duke Jackson doing wonderful things. YouTube streets. Like and subscribe to Corey. And yes, remember, and O'Shea Duke Jackson is also considered gay according to the 5150 crew. So again, it must be true. It must be true, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue.
This morning, I got an email about a video that happened with Mika. She was a collaborator professionally with Anton Daniels. She seems to be a really nice person, and I can tell you for a fact that she is really into the black media perspective. I found out that she emailed me 3 years ago trying to support another brother, so I actually believe that Mika is really, really genuinely into the black commentary space as a fan. That is definitely true. But this is interesting because Mika has another issue that is still looming over her. And that is, what is her status with Anton Daniels? There was a gentleman that was doing the interview. I believe his name is Orlando. He seems to be a professional news reporter doing this on the side, and they have worked together in the past. But this brother is a damn good interviewer, and he did not make it easy for her at all. And basically, he talked about their relationship, where it started from, how did she meet him. But then he got into the whole situation and the questions about the flirting.
Has Anton ever flirted with you?
Flirted with me as a sense of what? Just naturally, just naturally, like we're sitting here, or.
Now he starts off his questions by trying to build up what he wants to get to towards the end, which is, did Anton Daniels flirt with you? And he prefaced it in a situation where she felt that she was being flirted with, and so she responded.
So Anton does things for content, and then there's things that Anton would do if we're just sitting here.
Okay.
So if you're saying personally, if me and Anton was just sitting here, no. Now,
Okay, now, Mika, God love her. She is doing as best as possible with what she has, but English is not her strong suit. She will make up words on the fly, and we need to be observant of that, but we need to also be observant of her efforts. So let's give her, shout out to Rich Cyrus, 74. Shout out to you, sir. We need to give Mika a bit of a bly here, okay? Okay? It's not exactly, top of the tree in terms of, her grasp of the English language, but, ebonics, she may have her doctorate. Let's continue.
if you're talking about for content, when we're doing the virtual rooms and things for the show, Anton has said multiple things.
So she said, well, he has said multiple things. Anton Daniels, the personality is different offline, so you can't really take him serious. And then he asks for this.
So let me hear a few of the multiple things that he said that was a flirt.
What people would consider if he's, saying.
Not people, what you considered as a flirt.
I would say probably if he's like, oh, Mika, you're so sweet, or you're so cute, right? But the problem that I have with it is because I know he's doing it for content, right? And he's not actually talking to me.
Now, to be honest, I've heard some more worse flirts than that, but I understand that she is a married woman, which we'll find that out, and she has a brand,
right?
Pop Culture Mika. So she's a conservative, and she got to keep it clean. I understand that. But then the interesting parts of the interview and my honest situation get worse.
So I understand that Anton is married. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you're married.
Correct.
Correct. Have you met Anton's wife?
Yes.
How would you describe her?
She's when I say probably one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. That lady is probably one of the nicest people I've ever met.
Yeah. And has Anton met your husband?
In person, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yes! The glitch in the Matrix here. And this is what automatically sends a man with a huge red flag running through the wilderness. And it should be sending that to all of you. That's what runs through my head at this point in time. When you, as a man, have met you as a woman have met the wife of your, colleague, that's one thing. But when your opposite gender, when Anton hasn't met your husband at all, and yet you're taking trips together cross country on business, you should have a legion of red flags running through your head. What does that say to you? Comment down below what that says to you. I know what it says to me. It says to me that there may be more than meets the eye in this certain relationship. If you don't introduce said individual, your husband, to your work colleague, and you take trips around the country with said colleague, something's amiss here. Because you as a woman are able to meet the wife, but you as a woman will take your male colleague to meet your husband. Something smells here. It's telling that something ain't right. Something ain't right.
Has not met him in person. Has he met him over the phone or in DM? What other form of introduction when you say not in person?
Because a lot of people assume that, when you have to see people, it has to be in person, or that if you don't meet them in person, then it's something or whatever. So
I'm saying, what's the form of communication?
I mean,
that he met your husband?
they don't have a form of communication where they talk back and forth.
So this
so you mean to tell me that the man you're going cross country with has never spoken to your husband? Let me say that again. The man that you fly cross country with on business has never met your husband. Something ain't right, y'all. Something ain't right.
This is the most telling part. She said, "Have you met Anton Daniels' wife?" She says she has. Is she a nice person? She is. Now, I can attest to that. I've talked to Anton Daniels' wife on the phone maybe once or twice. She seems to be a very pleasant lady, a very nice lady. I've always said that from what I know about her, okay? I've only had 1 or 2 interactions with her. That's just been on the phone. But then the host wants to clarify if Anton Daniels has met her husband.
So he's never met your husband?
No.
And why is that?
No particular reason.
Sure.
Just I've never had to actually do anything where my husband was there.
So you mean to tell me there's never a need? You never had a need to have the two interact or touch base or speak at any time. Let's separate church and state here. Is that what we're getting at here? Something ain't right, y'all. Something ain't right. Something tells me, allegedly, that there may be extramarital activities going on here. Comment down below if you believe me. There may be extramarital affairs going on here. This is alleged. I could be wrong. But when you separate church and state, and never the twain shall meet, and you're flying across the country with said individual and appearing in front row basketball games with said lady, something right.
And so if he's there, like if my like when we work together, is here, so my husband's come here. But if
when we first met and worked together,
we were in person as well.
Your husband came.
Yeah, but we were here. We were here in the DC area. Yes, my husband came.
Yes.
So again, if he was here, then yes. But most of my business dealings, and if not all, I usually have a manager or somebody else deal with that. So that's the.
Except in this instance, when Anton needs to be there, alone with you, flying cross country. Can someone say flued out? Is someone being flued out here? Let me know in the comments.
Reason why I like it's not a thing. But I talked to my husband about it.
So this is kind of where it gets a little sticky. So if you look at Pop Culture Mika and you look at her Instagram, you would not know that Pop Culture Mika is a married woman. And this is important for a woman who is a MAGA supporter, who is I won't say she's Republican, but she's.
Okay, here's the deal. Before we get off this, because I want to keep it right here on this page. You may not like Myron Gaines, but he has it correct in this instance. If you do not see your significant other on your Instagram page, something ain't right. You can check it yourself. Go on Mika's Instagram page and see if you can find her husband anywhere significant on said page. She's a married woman. You think she'd want to flaunt her husband everywhere she goes? I know, with my fiance, she flaunts me. Where's her husband on this page? Somebody tell me, where's her husband on the page? I don't see him. Do you see him? Can you let me know in the comments if you could see the husband on said page? But something tells me, she don't really hype the man. She don't really like the man that much to not have him on her page at all. At all. And when that happens and you got to connect the dots here. If you are being flued out to different locales with an individual who you have a business partnership with, and that individual is trying to promote you. We're going to get to the pictures in a minute. Trying to promote you there in the atmosphere, and yet you've never met your husband, and she was very, very, carefree in giving away that information. Can you connect the dots? Nor to be seen here. Never met the husband there. And you two, Anton Daniels and Mika, fly throughout the states to promote certain things and do certain bits. And if you ever hear them on Room 9, Anton literally asked if her Mika's first class seat was to her liking. And he would have to change things in order to make it right. Okay. I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down here.
Right-leaning and being a part of a family structure is important. But Mika does not do that. She doesn't have her husband up there. At least Anton Daniels, he has his wife. Like I said, sometimes a little bit too much with his family. But she has pictures of everything else, but not her husband.
Now, here's the thing about high-value men. Here's the thing about high-value men that you need to understand. High-value men such as Anton Daniels will always have some sort of paramour, side piece, affair, objects of affair, girlfriend. That from time to time, you don't do it on home turf. Remember, Detroit is off limits, but if you follow the cheating rules, you don't embarrass her, you don't buy her big ticket items, although that is questionable, you don't get her pregnant, or you don't embarrass your wife, that's questionable as well. Well, you're observing the cheating rules. However, he's dealing with things fast and loose here, Anton Daniels. And, especially during their business relationship. and you see some of these pictures that are upcoming, and then you see the page here and everything that I've told you. Start doing the math here, and things are adding up. I hope you see what's going on here, people. I really hope you do. Allegedly. I hope you allegedly see what's going on here. Let's continue.
And she's looking like, in my honest opinion, as if she is an unmarried woman. She has pictures with other men on there. I know these are professional things. Like the poses where she's hugging on other dudes. I mean, again, you can look at it as being professional, men being close to her.
And remember, this is her own page, so you always want to appear single. You don't want to appear married because, you want the simps of the world to, catch on to you and you get more views and attachments and that sort of thing. So, I mean, it's good. It's, in a way, good for the brand. But if you are a conservative woman who preaches family values, the least you could do is have your husband somewhere on your page. When he's nowhere around, something right.
But where is her husband at? Why doesn't she want the world to know that she is actually married? She says she's married. She's not behaving publicly as a married woman. And also, she says she doesn't feel like it was so necessary for Anton Daniels and the husband to talk, but she has photos with Anton Daniels. Like I said, we've talked about that before on the internet. Some of those photos have been taken down. She has 2 photos, but you're married to a man, you're flying.
Okay, now we're getting to the photos, people. This was taken at a basketball game. I believe this was front row. You have your business partner here, and I want you to look at Anton's face. Just look at Anton's face. I mean, Mika may be as innocent as Sugar, if you know what I mean. She may be innocent as Sugar in this picture here. Sugar and spice and everything nice right here. But I want you to look at Anton's face. Is that a face of a man who says, you know what? She's my business partner. I treat her with respect. We have a platonic relationship. It just so happens that I have a few tickets here, and it's a night out, and nothing's going on here. I know she has a husband, but I mean the best for her. Or is this saying to you, this is my B, this is my bottom B, this is how I step out, this is how I roll, I bring gal like her wherever I go. And that's just the player I am. I roll with an 8, 9, or 10 every time. And listen, Anton Daniels has already stated this publicly that he rolls with an 8, 9, or 10. He rolls with that. And this is just another, example of said rolling.
Out like from DC to California. You don't know where this man is staying at. I think in the stream after the whole Corey Holcomb situation, they at least were in the same hotel room.
Look at this picture here, ladies and gentlemen, with Anton Daniels and Mika. Notice the hand. Notice the look. Now, again, these hands here are saying, okay, please, I'm trying to give you space, but I don't want to appear married, but the hand saying I don't want to appear married. The Anton hand saying, this is my B. This is my gal. I roll out with bad gal every day. I'm a gallus. I'm a Janelle. Understand that. That's a boss type look that one gives when he's controlling stuff. He just wants you to know about that. Let's continue.
So you're a beautiful lady and you're under the stewardship of another man who's married.
Allegedly, people, allegedly here.
it just doesn't make much sense to behave like that as a married woman, which gives me the ability to think one or two things is the truth. Number one, Mika is the breadwinner in her house. Okay?
Yes.
So because she's the breadwinner, household is dictated by her rules. She sets the pace. Two, the husband is a person that is just a complete, I don't want to call him a simp, but he's kind of running over the guy. Or maybe the guy is incarcerated. Maybe the guy is living, he's in the military, he's away, something. But
no, he's a man who he's not of much means. And clearly, Mika was about to move on here. And I mean, this is Red Pill 101. When you are not featured on your woman's page, she's looking to move on. She's just selling herself to the public for the next highest bidder. If it happens to be Anton Daniels, so be it. But there's not much respect being paid to her husband in this instance, especially when your husband has not met your business partner associate at all. They don't speak together. There's a separation between church and state. Sorry. He is not very much revered. He is not a high value man at all. Because if he was, she'd be promoting him from pillar to post, from North to South Pole, and every enclave in between. But that's not happening here, people. Simply because she doesn't respect him. She doesn't really like him. She's married to him, but she's looking to move on. Allegedly.
This does not make sense for a woman like her. You don't know your husband. She's flown to Detroit. She's flying to LA by herself. You've never met this man. You've never talked
Anton, alone with Anton. Remember this.
To this man at all. Doesn't make any sense to me. Okay? And then they start to talk about this very infamous photo of Anton Daniels and her, which again was alarming. And the man starts to criticize her.
I was
Here we go again
by this picture.
Okay, tell me why.
Because there's no way my wife would be physically touching, leaning on a married man, leaning on a single man, leaning on another man in a way that suggests I'm feeling you, I like you. This is really some sort of.
Why do you think that says I'm feeling you?
Even if it doesn't say I'm feeling you, I don't want
I'm
my
saying,
wife.
Why do you think?
Yeah.
Why do you think that suggests that I'm feeling you? Because
okay, let's
hold on. The reason why I'm asking you. Okay. The reason why I'm asking you is I have tons of pictures of our former co-hosts.
Yep.
With the same lean, everything.
But here's the difference.
Hold on.
Yes.
And that person is also a male, all right? And we have a working relationship, and it's the same exact type of picture.
So here she is, like the man is bringing up a good point. Look, you are having this pose next to this man as if, you know, you're really feeling the guy. Mm-hmm. And her response to that was, well, I've taken several photos like that before. What she doesn't understand is that just makes it worse. Mm-hmm. You're a married woman and you're taking photos with other men in in my honest opinion, to a man, it's a very disrespectful way of doing so. Again, I don't understand what, you know, her and her husband have set up in a relationship. It's really not my business. But for most people, that's an uncomfortable position, especially being a lady and being a conservative, and you're taking these kind of photos, right? Then he comes back with this.
But here's the disrespect. This is a married man that you are physically leaning into.
I'm not leaning into.
That to me,
I'm not leaning into.
To me,
there's space there.
Here's my perspective of it.
She says there's space there, guys. Do you see any space? Can you see a clear space between these two? And this is not even the better one. Remember, they ain't even catching the hand here. They ain't even catching that. But there's supposed to be space between the two. Maybe it's when the hand there's a bit of a gap between the hand and the sweater. Maybe that's it. Maybe a gap between. Oh, there's a space. There's a space. The space is right here. Here's a space right here, right between her her midsection and Anton's belly. That's the space, and it protrudes all the way down the line. There's the space, guys. There's the space. Remember, her booty gotta be, her booty. There's a bit of space back here, but that's of herself. And yeah, there's a bit of space here. She's created the space by resting her hand on one's shoulder, but he don't. Yeah, there's a gap. There's a gap. We do see that, but he don't look like he want that gap. Anton doesn't look like he wants a gap. Well, he wants a gap, but it's not the gap you think. Not the gap between these two here. He wants another gap. I'll let you decide what that is. Let's continue.
Between it, but I'm looking at how you have a smile on your face. This is just my perspective. Your eyes look seductive.
Oh yeah,
perspective.
That's right.
And your arm is relaxed on his upper shoulder. And I would never imagine a married woman leaning on a business male partner that way. That to me is inappropriate.
Yes. Thank you very much, Orlando. Thank you so much for saying it. We tried. I just wanted to have my play being backed here, and it is. That is very suggestive. If I were her man, I would be incensed by that photo. Incensed. But again, the husband is not of high value like Anton Daniels. Does not hold sway with this woman whatsoever. She does not respect him to that extent, and so he is there to take it. If I were him, I would be asking questions. If not, I would be leaving this relationship. Because quite simply, when she heads away with Anton Daniels to different locales throughout the United States without said husband and with the two of them together, something's not right here. She doesn't represent you in public and she doesn't represent you in private. Something's not right here, allegedly. It's there for all to see. That man's getting punked in real time. Punked in real time. You are now the simp. You are the cuck. You are the one waiting in the corner while these two get it on. You may have a ball gag in your mouth, allegedly. You may be taking numbers of different men who have allegedly. This is allegedly. You may be the one to choose said men who well, have their way with your woman, but she does not respect you. Allegedly, she does not respect you at all. Yet she's a conservative voice. So again, you need to have that separation. The lines of demarcation must be clear. But they're very much blurred when it comes to Anton Daniels and Mika in this instance. Let's continue.
That's if you were my wife, I would have a serious problem. My problem would be so serious, you would have to probably extinguish your contract with him.
Again, if you're my wife, I'd have a serious problem with it, and I would have you extinguish your contract with him. Some guys would do even worse. This is grounds for a separation. Maybe
absolutely.
Divorce.
Oh yeah. This is pack your bags. You gotta go. No, you gotta go. You gotta go. I see it in the business dealings. I see it on the trips with said individual. I see it on your Instagram page. You don't like your husband. That's all. You don't like him. Because if you liked him, you'd represent him. However, you're doing a very bad job at it, Mika. You're doing an absolutely terrible job at it. And I don't think you care. I really don't think you care. Red pill awareness. You don't like said dude, because if you did, you would be representing him everywhere you go. Ask any woman. If a woman really likes you and truly respects you and loves you, she can't stop talking about you. She can't stop showing your picture to whomever. My fiance can't stop talking about me. This woman said, oh yeah, I'm married. Where is he? Oh, he's at home. Oh, yeah, he's in the DC area. Yeah, come to the studio. But if I'm out of town, yeah, you gotta stay home. To Mika's husband, you're being cucked in real time. You need to think about your future with this woman because she is clear. Her mind is out of here. She is emotionally cheating on you. Red Pill 101. She's emotionally cheating on you and she's about to move on. She's just looking for the proper suitor here. You may not like the red pill, but there are truths that men can take from it. And you know what? My guy, you're being simped in real time.
Because what it implies is if you're willing to take this sort of photo with the man, you don't have any limits. If you take this photo with a man or other men in this way,
yeah,
you are not a woman who is trustworthy.
No.
Okay? Because the way you look to the world is not cool. The brother then follows it up with this.
And I will also feel a little uncomfortable that this gentleman obviously.
And you can see she's uncomfortable right now. She's getting grilled. She's getting absolutely grilled. And she is not appreciative of this one iota. But she has to hold her cool. She has to keep her counsel. But guess what? She's getting grilled here. And she is deserving of it. Sorry, Mika. As nice as you are, as conservative as you may be, you do not wear the uniform. Let's continue.
Did not either push you away or suggest that we shouldn't take this type of picture.
Not only did he hold her accountable, Anton Daniels, as a married man, okay, didn't push you away. He didn't say we shouldn't take this type of photo. Both of us are on the right. Both of us push family. So here we are, two married people taking a photo that's we probably should not take. Not only that, there was a photo of them at the basketball game and things like that, which was different. But this is problematic, all right? Then ultimately, we find out this.
Here's another very challenging question, but I have to ask you. I just have to ask you. Have you and Anton ever had sex?
No.
Any?
Hold on. No.
Okay. Any sexual relations?
No. It's always been strictly professional. And
you could be professionally sexual.
Oh, I would know.
Well, that's
so
what I'm
again,
asking. Yeah.
It's always been strictly professional. Strictly professional.
Here's the thing. When you head away with said gentleman to different locales in the United States, and there is no supervision between the two of you, yeah, you could say it's professional. Absolutely. You have every right to say that. And but the optics are wild. The optics are wild here. This is a bad look. Absolutely terrible look. You may try to explain it away. It may not have happened. But hey, you're wearing the uniform here. The optics are there for all to see. The math ain't mathing. You know what I mean? The math ain't mathing here, Mika. God love you, but the math ain't mathing.
Like I said, Anton has a persona online.
Okay.
I get his persona online, but personally, Anton hasn't done that to me.
So the question about the sexual relationship, was there one? I mean, again, I'm not there to speculate what happened or if it happened or not. She said it didn't happen. So whatever. I mean, nobody can prove it. No one was there. The issue is if somebody doesn't believe that, it just looks like the flirting that happened online. Anton Daniels in the past has said that he cannot deal with anybody that's not given. He said that while you were on the stream, and he was working with you also, and there was no pushback from you when he was saying things like that. So if they did nothing and we can't prove it, it just makes it kind of hard for her because she sort of put herself in a very bad situation.
Yes, she did.
There. But she did end the relationship with Anton as far as a business relationship. I don't know what it was personally. And she said this was the reason for it.
And when he went to speak about it, he didn't advocate. He only still boisterous towards whatever Corey had to say. And I get the boistering, but my avocation should have been first.
Okay, here's the thing, right? Again, I offered a disclaimer. This lady is not exactly a Rhodes Scholar. She's not exactly an English teacher. She's not exactly one who, I don't know, higher education in the United States is, it's a slippery slope. Anyways, yeah. So take that as it will, but the fact of the matter is this. When she says that Anton Daniels did not stick up for me when Corey Holcomb was insulting her, that was a test, ladies and gentlemen. That was a test of your relationship, allegedly. If Anton Daniels stood up for said woman and said, well, I don't have to fight you. You called her a B and whatever and this and this and that as we are leaving it. Go see the conversation with Anton Daniels. See the amount of vitriol that Corey had for Nika on the way out. But she did not exactly like Anton's performance because, again, she saw Anton Daniels as her alleged lover, her alleged man, as one she would like to move on to from her husband at this point in time, allegedly. And this was the test. My character has been damaged. What are you going to do about it, Anton? Well, I'm married. I can't do anything about it, really. You're married. You can't do anything about it, really. But here's female logic. You still got to do something about it. Here's where the red pill comes in. You still got to do something about it. And since you did nothing about it, well, we can't go on like this. It's clear that my romantic energies were misused at this time. They were misdirected. Totally misdirected. And, I backed the wrong horse here. It looks like I'm going to have to choose from my other candidates. Allegedly. But yeah, it was over. It was over when Anton could not stand up. Because Anton's a married man himself. Could not stand up for his, his alleged business lover. Let's continue.
So this is largely true. She said, listen, Anton Daniels did not try to come to my defense to make me look like a woman of substance. When the side chick narrative was going out about Mika, he did very little to make her look like she was a woman that was respecting her husband. Although the situation was already precarious with the decisions that she made with some of the photos and being on some of the panels and some of the flirting, right? And she said that he basically wanted to look like a guy who was clapping, which he was.
I got this meeting.
I had this meeting. Okay, so if I'm looking at this picture, are you all on the floor at a basketball game?
Correct, that's the floor.
Okay, at a basketball game.
Correct.
So you went to a basketball game. Did you watch the game?
No, this picture right here.
I even said it. I always got a bad chick with me. I always got this with me. And that would also include Mika. So what he's doing, even if he's not doing it or not, you're making it seem like you have a sexual relationship with a married woman who's out here saying that she's not, and then you're making it hard for her to be associated with you anymore because now you're putting her out there as if she is a side chick. So even if it was happening, her brand can't take that hit. So Anton Daniels becomes too expensive to deal with. So she has to publicly come out and separate herself from him. And again, this is what I was telling guys, that this was going to happen. When you're too expensive to deal with because you don't care about anybody, you're trying to go viral, you're trying to get clout, you make silly ass mistakes like this. Like, first of all, bringing her to the Corey Holcomb show was a mistake. There is no reason why she should have been on the Corey Holcomb show. Corey Holcomb had nothing to do with the conversation with her. She's a burgeoning YouTuber trying to grow her platform, trying to learn how to get into business. She seemed like she is doing okay, but there are some things that she could work on. So you got her embarrassed by being associated with you. You're taking these photos with a married woman. It looks terrible. Now she's getting, held accountable in a very, very tough interview. And she'll always be attached to him in some negative way. I think she's a nice lady. She has a very nice demeanor. She seems like she's really interested into the black social media. Again, I found out 3 or 4 years ago that she messaged me, and I actually emailed her saying, hey, if you ever need any YouTube tips, hey, I'm willing to give you what I know. I think the lady is a nice lady that was trying to grow her channel. He reached out to her. She didn't holler at him. And this is what I heard Anton, and not only Anton, both of them, they have this kind of notoriety for reaching out to ladies, and then something happening that's a fallout. Again, I'm not sure about all of that, but that's their reputation, especially Anton. And so that's what I know. So guys, what do you...
Thank you very much, O'Shea Dude Jackson. But just to finish off this segment, if you ever go back to the annals of Room 9, go back to some of the prior episodes of Room 9 when Mika and Anton Jones were on there, and their flirtation is wild. Literally wild. You can cut the tension with a knife with these two, and they are playing the game, guys. They are playing charades here. They are literally at each other tooth and nail, and I mean in the romantic sense, okay? And, it couldn't be hidden. There's no surreptitiousness in any way, shape, or form. It's there. It's there for all to see. But as stated, you know what I mean? Something was going on here. It may be seen as platonic and professional, but it allegedly really wasn't. And when Anton did not defend her honor when she was leaving the Corey Holcomb studio, the 5150 show studio, that was it. That was it, because that was the test. That was his test. Are you my man? Okay, defend my honor here. When he's calling me a B and calling me a hoe and calling me all this other stuff, take your bitch out of here. Da 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 da. Now's your time to defend me. Anton had to leave because he's married. He can't really say something because Corey will come back to say, oh, look, he's supposed to be a married man. Look who he's playing around with. That's even more trouble. So he had to stay silent, and so the business relationship was severed. But thank you very much to O'Shea Dude Jackson, doing wonderful things YouTube sees. Please like and subscribe to him. He just laid it out there for all to see. And shout out to Orlando and the Perspective Show. I would like to subscribe to him as well, because he did fantastic work in that interview. That was a hell of an interview between himself and Mika. And yeah, he did some great investigative journalism, if you know what I mean here. And quite simply, Mika doesn't respect her husband, doesn't wish to show off her husband, and it's only a matter of time before she moves on, in my opinion. Let's move on ourselves to right. Oh, we've got that Corey's disrespect reaches a new low. Oh yes. I want to see this bit. Now this is what really boiled my blood. See, here's the thing. The living can defend themselves, but when the dead are included in your tirade and in your lies, that's where you get the stupid tag. You get the jackass tag. You get the idiot tag. You get the absolute book thrown at you with regards to your intelligence and lack thereof. This video displays it for all to see. If you're there on Tuesday night, you've seen it for yourselves, but we've got O'Shea Dude Jackson back again. I tell you, he's back. He's on a roll, ladies and gentlemen. Corey disrespect of Kevin Samuels has reached a new low. Now, as Kevin Samuels was a friend of not only O'Shea Dude Jackson, but lead attorney. And the way he describes Kevin Samuels, in my estimation, he should have the taste slapped out of his mouth for that rhetoric. He should have the absolute taste smacked out of his mouth. I said it, for that rhetoric. Corey Holcomb is a loser for saying what he's about to say. If you're there at 5150 on Tuesday night, this is the reason why I call him a jackass. Right here. Right here. Because the man is not here anymore, but he wants to tear a strip off the Godfather himself in order to aggrandize his own reputation. And quite simply, the taste should be, he should be mushed for saying such things. Because they were uncalled for. Quite simply, uncalled for. Those are fighting words. Let's get into it here with Corey's disrespect of Kevin Samuels and reached a new low. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson, doing wonderful things in YouTube streets. And we're getting into this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.
Within the last 1 to 2 weeks, Corey Holcomb has been accusing the lead attorney of a lot of fraudulent things. Number one, calling the lead attorney a liar. And then, of course, calling him lead in a Negro behind law. In other words, saying that lead attorney is living a gay lifestyle.
Do remember, if you cross Corey Holcomb's path, you're gay. You are part of the LGBTQ, HDMI, PS5 Legion, the Alphabet Gang crew, ladies and gentlemen, the Alphabet Gang, and you can't come back. Let's continue.
But that doesn't have anything to do with Kevin Samuels, at least right now. But we'll get to that in a minute. Rewind! Corey Holcomb has always spoken, for the most part, positively about the influence of the late, great Kevin Samuels.
Have you seen these women speak on Kevin Samuels? Not to mention the other girl, Kendra G. That circus. But they're just making random phone calls to random people, and it's like, it's making us look bad.
And he's even went hard on people who've hated on Kevin Samuels.
I know they identify with a funky because they was talking about my brother when he passed.
Right, that's terrible.
That's how you know they know he talking about them.
And that's terrible. That was terrible.
Face ass Vivica Fox.
Oh, no, she didn't say
No,
that.
she did not.
This
Did she
funk
say
ass.
something? Oh my God.
Say he got his karma. Your face is carved up because you hate yourself. He talk about bitches that hate theyself. Damn.
Now, also in the past, he said that Kevin was a little feminine, but for the most part, that did not stop him for the praise. And we can all say certain things about people, but the reality is Kevin Samuels has been dead and gone for almost going on 4 years. There is no real reason to talk about Kevin Samuels anymore. If you have a beef with Kevin Samuels right now, it doesn't make any sense because whatever he said is out there. He's not here to defend himself, and that is important.
I just said that, didn't I? The man's not here to defend himself. The man's not here to clap back at Corey Holcomb for his idiotic takes, his jackass takes. But he thought he was the one to, sneak a little, jab at him. We're talking about Corey Holcomb here. That is the low-level behavior we're dealing with here in terms of Corey Holcomb. He has to pay for sexual satisfaction. Yet he's asking, and he's telling a man who clearly can run rings around him, he was still alive today with the ladies, that he is part of the Alphabet Gang. Shame on you, Corey Holcomb, for even insinuating such a tone. And quite simply, the taste should be smacked out your mouth. Just saying. Steve.
Kevin Samuels, regardless of who has an issue with him or not, is not here to defend himself. But today, I am. Woo! You see, Corey Holcomb can't just handle one person in a beef. He has to conflate different people. If he's having a disagreement with Anton or me and the lead attorney, it just can't be that we disagree with what he's doing. We have to be called Bagdoria and all other things. And in this case, Kevin Samuels gets dragged into a beef that has nothing to do with him. And so when he's going after the lead attorney, he mentions something that's important.
I believe that Kevin Samuels, the late, great Kevin Samuels, was a great philosophizer on the situation that's happening with a lot of the women in society. I believe that, hands down. I think he was really good at what he did.
Now, he says that Kevin Samuels was the great philosopher of his time, which is true indeed. But, he continues.
But, you know that but is coming, especially in this case, but I always thought he had a feminine side that made me feel like, I can't prove this, made me feel like he preferred men.
He says that while he appreciates Kevin Samuels, he felt that Kevin Samuels liked men, or he preferred men, even though he can't prove it. Now, here's the problem that Corey Holcomb is going to have. Whether Kevin Samuels is gay or not does not matter. Whether the lead attorney is gay or not does not matter. The reality is that Kevin Samuels has nothing to do with your problems right now. The problem that you have with the lead attorney revolves around the proof of your attorney, Derek Dion, who, oh, by the way, is not even licensed in the state of California from what I can find.
Well, disclaimer, he is licensed in the state of Texas. That's his area of practice. Now, how you hiring a Texas lawyer to fight a case in California just shows the high level of intelligence you have, Corey Holcomb. Just amazing level. Let's continue.
He's licensed in Texas, and your situation is in California.
Woo!
The beef is largely about if you gave your attorney the permission to speak to him. Your attorney said he did, but you never really addressed that because you can't, and you would be lying if you did. So what you're trying to do is to assassinate the lead attorney's character. But what you want to do is assassinate Kevin Samuels' character along with your issue with the lead attorney to make it more than what it is. And really, it doesn't matter if you can prove this or not, because you already said that you can't prove that Kevin Samuels was gay. But you're going to try it anyway.
Okay, that was awkward right there. Now, I said that to show you a point. Tampon and lead in a ass law is another punk ass attorney that I'm gonna bring him up later on. But lead in ass law was very, very proud of his relationship with Kevin Samuels. He told me that he was a very close friend of Kevin Samuels. I'll just put it like that.
So there's supposed to be this clip where the lead attorney admits that him and Kevin Samuels were in a relationship. I'm not sure what this is going to prove, but I found it.
Kevin Samuels, man, he used to tell me all the time, he was like, get out from around me.
Like Corey Holcomb.
That it will keep you down. YouTube is humongous. I had a girlfriend at the time when I was dating Kevin. When I was dating a girl when me and Kevin started communicating on the phone.
So this seems like the lead attorney is talking, makes a mistake, fumbles over some words. People do it all the time. When you do it on live stream, the problem is you can't take it back. I've done things like that, recording videos on live streams. The difference is when you make that mistake, when you're recording a episode like I'm doing, you can stop it or record it. But when you're live, you can't. Can anybody make that mistake and say something like that? Sure. Does that mean that Kevin Samuels and lead attorney had a gay relationship? Absolutely not. It's childish to believe that. But when you're Corey Holcomb, you use this as confirmation.
This is what I'm trying to tell you. This ain't for everybody. This for the real boys and girls. We know what it is, boy. This ain't for everybody. This for the real boys and girls. We know what it is. This is the word that should be spoken out there. Instead of them fake, I called that man lead in an ass law before I saw.
Woo! And so, because in his mind, which is a very feeble one, this proves that the lead attorney is indeed a homosexual. And so, because this proves that the lead attorney is a homosexual, so is Kevin Samuels. So it would disprove everything that the lead attorney has said so far about Mr. Derek Dion, the attorney. So that means that the lead attorney is lying about everything since he's lying about his sexuality. Let me just say this. Assuming that it was the truth, the lead attorney and Kevin Samuels were in a relationship. Let's just hypothetically assume this is the case, which is not the case. Does that mean that the lead attorney, the claims he said about Derek Dion are false? Does it mean that his criticism of Corey Holcomb is unwarranted? Neither situation applies in the assessment that the lead attorney has produced. What you're trying to say, if a person is gay or bisexual or whatever it is, then they no longer have the ability to tell the truth or lie. You're heterosexual and you're lying right now. Woo! All of this is a cover-up because Corey Holcomb can't get away from the fact that his lawyer let him down. The lawyer that he's probably not paying any money to, a guy who's a personal injury lawyer. I don't know if defamation, is involved in that, but I think a personal injury lawyer is more or less a person that deals with accidents and things like that. I could be wrong, but it doesn't prove any case. And now you're bringing in a guy who has nothing to do with this. He is dead. He cannot defend his situation. So you're trying to throw Kevin Samuels underneath the bus and call him backdoor you, when the real reality is, Corey, if there's anybody that's going to be backdoor you, I'm going to say it, Brez, you.
Let's stop right there. I'm going to put myself on the big screen right now. Because this man has offended one of my heroes. When he is not alive to defend himself. This man who pays ad litem for the P at every stop he makes. Now, he has made a very good living for himself. He's a very good comedian. No doubt about that. But when you insult a man who didn't have a gripe against you, and you accuse a man of being part of the Alphabet Gang and the LGBTQ PS5 HDMI crew, simply because he was friends with Kevin Samuels, that's where the line must be drawn. That's where your depravity is put on show. Corey Holcomb, you're low rent. You came from low rent. You might as well go back to low rent for making such a statement. You are a little man for going out there and insulting a man's credibility when it was 10 times the size of yours. You have catered to the lowest common denominator for years, and it shows. And you know what, Corey? That is the reason why I call this show and you a jackass. No word of a lie. When you go against the Godfather himself, I understand if late because he was on their case. But when you have to stoop as low to besmirch I ask you to look that up. If you, because clearly you don't know what that means. If you choose to denigrate the life and times and legacy of one of the leaders of the Black Manosphere and of the Red Pill and of modern intersexual dynamics And it was revered not only here but around the world. When you choose to do that, Corey, for your self-aggrandizement, I ask you to look that up too, because clearly you don't know what that means. That's where your jackass shows. There it is. It does. It shows how low rent you can be. It shows the depths to which you go to Trump levels. You go to Donald J. Trump levels in order to win an argument. Defame a character. There's a linkage between yourself and Donald J. Trump. Absolutely. Even though you don't like his politics. But there is a linkage in terms of your personality. You're little men who need your ego stroked in order to make a claim. Quite simply, anything that comes to you is fully deserved. I tried to defend you. I tried to let everybody know that you are of good character and you have comedy chops. Absolutely you do. But when you see all your enemies as Backdoria, when you accuse the great Kevin Samuels of being Backdoria himself, even though he's a way better dresser than you are, I don't know what the hell you're doing with some of the stuff that you put on a daily basis. It smacks of depravity, the likes of which many don't enter into, don't go to. And yeah, if TMZ wants to take a piece of you, so be it. If Christina Payne wants to take a piece of you, so be it. If Anton Daniels wants to take a piece of you, so be it. If Joe Biden wants to take a piece of you, so be it. If any of your enemies want to take a piece of you, so be it. Because you deserve it. You deserve it. You literally deserve it. You asked for this. And here we are. You've gone there, Corey. You've literally gone there. And for that, anything that's coming to you is fully deserved. Let's continue, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue.
You're the only one every single day talking about somebody's booty cheeks. And I'm talking about male on male cheeks. Nobody is more concerned about somebody's butt, what goes in somebody's butt, what comes out of somebody's butt, than Corey Holcomb, the comedian. Kevin Samuels has never talked about male sex or gay sex on his podcast that I can remember. Every single show, you're talking about somebody's booty, what somebody had done to their cheeks. And we ain't talking about a woman. We're talking about men. Who is gay? Who is doing this in the Backdoria Ville? That's what you talk about. And those are actually, if you would ask somebody around social media, women or men or people who have experience being friends with both men and women, or at least in the LGBTQ community, people would most likely point to you as the person that is being suspicious for being DL, okay? Now, I don't believe that Corey Holcomb is gay at all. I don't believe that he's a PEDO, right? I just believe he's a sad person that ain't got nothing better to do, right? That's what I believe. I do not believe he's gay. I also do not believe that Kevin Samuels is gay. And how can we know this? Because when Kevin Samuels passed away, he literally passed away doing this. He passed away while clapping. Now, was he in somebody's Backdoria clapping? No. He was with a woman, a very beautiful woman, and when he had his health emergency, unfortunately, that he did not survive. So he lived in Atlanta. He had plenty of opportunities to do all these other things, which he never did, okay? There are so many people that hated Kevin Samuels in the Atlanta area. A lot of people hated Kevin Samuels, and they would have done anything to bring up the evidence that Kevin is living the life that he should. No one that's produced it, dead or alive.
Here's the thing. It's what Kevin himself said for years. That a modern woman would resort to in order to besmirch his character, in order to put dirt on his name, and that includes shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. Corey Holcomb is guilty of sign language. He's a jackass and guilty of sign language. There it is. The same playbook these ladies, these opponents of Kevin Samuels used to have, who now there are so many women who are, and I'll do a Talk Live show in a few weeks regarding all the ladies who regret going against Kevin Samuels in the fullness of time. Those same women, their tactics, Corey Holcomb is using himself. And that, my friends, is the ultimate irony. How you can be using female tactics to take down a man of said stature, when you appear to be totally against that plan of action. You're a liar. You're a cheat. You're a lowlife. And you need to get your jaw raised from $200. Sorry, Corey. You may be indeed a man of means, yes, fine, but your character is of low quality. Let's continue.
Okay? And that goes to show that just because you feel a man is feminine, it don't mean that he's gay. Especially a man who cannot defend themselves. Your issue in your lies ain't got nothing to do with Kevin Samuels. You didn't know Kevin Samuels, I'm pretty sure. You never talked to Kevin Samuels, I'm pretty sure. And so to insult that man and his legacy, what he has done, nothing wrong to you, it's plain low. Get over yourself. So God.
Thank you very much to O'Shea Duke Jackson. He laid it out there and I laid it out there. That's why I call Corey Holcomb a jackass. Because when you go against this man here, who's not here anymore, and whose parables are now coming true. Winter is here, and women are from around the Western world are feeling it now more than ever. All of his premonitions are coming true. Look that up, Corey. You got a lot of studying to do here, Corey. You got a lot of studying to do. There's a whole lot of words here that you may not know about. I suggest you pick up a book. I don't know how long it's been. And get to work. Anyways, but to lie on a man's character and to say that in order to feature yours is quite simply the lowest form of excrement you can find. Anyways, we move on from there. You can look that up too, Corey. You can look that up too. Anyways, we move on to somebody wants to do something about Corey's mouth, ladies and gentlemen. Corey Holcomb got called out for a fade. But wait, yeah, indeed. It seems that Corey Holcomb has insulted the reputation of some out here, and some are willing to take it upon themselves. I just learned about this myself. That somebody are willing to take it upon themselves to, well, exact some sort of retribution for some of the stuff that Corey Holcombs have had to say and some of the activities Corey Holcomb has engaged in. So here we are, O'Shea Duke Jackson, the celebrity junk. I just saw this when I was on the treadmill. You may want to find one too there, Corey, just simply put. The 4XL is moving into a 5. Anyways, here we are. Corey Holcomb called out for a fade, ladies and gentlemen. And let's get into this video right here when somebody is literally calling out the man himself. Let's continue.
People who have been talking about, his lack of fighting skills and how much of a scaredy cat he is. And one of those people is Joe Budden. Now, again, this is just talking trash and, nobody is really going to do anything. And that's important to know, right? And that's why, trying to be a tough guy on the internet or talking tough when you have a big platform doesn't really make a lot of sense. But in the case of Corey Holcomb or Joe Budden, both of them engage in this. And so Joe Budden made fun of Corey Holcomb because when he got into the scuffle with Christina Payne's boyfriend, Joe Budden said that, that Corey wouldn't do that same thing if he saw him or something to that effect. Now, the issue is Corey Holcomb eventually would respond to that by saying this.
Talk about, well, he made it clear if I saw him, I wouldn't be trying to fight. I'm glad you wouldn't try to fight, but I'm just saying.
Cake.
Homie, you said I can't fight, so it ain't no excuses, remember?
Now, there is a guy here by the name of Big Homie CC. I believe he's like a big time or a former bodyguard in the industry. Big dude. He's known for, I guess, throwing fades or beating people up and stuff like that. I've seen him around the podcast circuit. He was recently on a podcast with some other guys. He's also from Chicago, okay? And this is the challenge he issues out to Corey Holcomb.
Corey Holcomb, brand risk said they got 50,000 a piece for us to get in the ring right now, and you ducking. They said they've been calling you and you ducking them.
Yeah, because I mean, he does do a lot of tough talking with a lot.
And
of
he fights girls.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Y'all saw the video?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I look at the comments. I see some dudes talking about, oh yeah, he got mushed, or he's mushing girls. Like, bro, there's no excuse for that. Like putting your hands on, regardless. She didn't put her hands on you.
No.
Yeah, and
it's not like you were defending
and only
yourself.
one man came to her defense out there.
I saw that.
Which the whole thing is, I don't get. You never put your hands on a woman. I don't care.
I don't give a what you do.
I don't care what happens.
That's crazy.
You protect women and children. That's
damn
it.
right.
Yeah, like if you're getting attacked, of course, like you're not gonna, you can defend yourself to get her off of you, but just like that wasn't the case.
It wasn't
he
the
walked
case.
up to her and slapped her.
Yeah, he was the aggressor.
Literally.
Nah, I'm gonna need somebody to get in.
So
good pause. Good pause.
Super pause.
Yeah, he's on point.
So here's the paradox, if you will, that's going on here. Number one, Corey Holcomb usually on the show, when anybody talks to, you ain't gonna do this in real life. You wouldn't run up on me. You wouldn't pull up on me. And eventually what happens with that sort of behavior, there's gonna be somebody that maybe isn't the same size as Joe Budden platform. Because, there are certain people that Corey Holcomb just probably will not respond to because of their size or their social media clout. And then you have some other person that's like this guy, Big Homie CC. Now, I do think he does have some clout online. People do know about him. I see him trending on TikTok. So, I don't know how big of an influencer he is, but he does seem to have some people out there. He's saying, look, they want us to get into the ring, man. And the reason why I want to watch you is for the 50,000. But not only that, because number one, you hit women, come hit a man. And not only that, look at these past comments you've been saying about young girls. Now, this is problematic because Corey Holcomb on his shows has been painting everybody else as demonic and him as the righteous one. Right? He's the righteous one that is being attacked. He's the righteous one that is being wrong. He is the righteous one that is suffering all of these terrible experiences.
If you ever see his thumbnails on his last show, he sees himself as the Black Moses, ladies and gentlemen. He sees himself as the New Age Isaac Hayes. Make that make sense. Let's continue. And if you know, you know. If you're a millennial or zennial, Isaac Hayes was a soul singer in the 70s. And, okay, I may be showing my age here a bit, but yeah, he sees himself as the new Black Moses, and everybody else is gay. Okay, let's continue.
That is what Corey Holcomb is leading everybody to believe. On the surface level, here we have Big Homie CC that's flipping the script. He's saying that you need to get these hands put on you because number one, you hit women or you put your hands on women. Then you have all of these disgusting things that you said about young women or younger girls under age of 18, which I'm not going to go into detail, all the stuff they're talking about. But now this is what's happening here. People are trying to paint Corey almost in the same lane as a guy like EDP445. Now, EDP445 was a YouTuber. He got caught, I believe, not just once, but twice, trying to meet up with underage ladies. Now, the brand of comedy that Corey Holcomb uses, it allows for somebody to, let me just say this, in the past at least, whatever he's saying, give it a pass. Because, okay, it's raunchy, but it's Corey, so you don't know if that's true. It's just maybe a bad taste to say that, but that's kind of Corey Holcomb's play on words, so fine. But now, let's say, for example, the guy Big Homie CC, let's say if he really doesn't like Corey Holcomb, he never liked Corey Holcomb. Let's say he's not really so concerned about protecting women, or he's not really so concerned about any of that. He just don't like you. I'm not saying that he's not, but let's assume that. Now, hear what he can do. Well, look, bro, why you ducking his fade? You said you're a tough guy. You know what I'm saying? You said you'll pull up on Joe Budden, or, you know, what about me? I'm from Chicago. You know, you need to pay the price for what you did to these young girls. And
again, he was going to pull up to Joe Budden. She was going to pull up to Anton Downs. He was going to pull up to Lead Attorney. He was going to pull up to Poetic Flacco. He's going to pull up to all these enemies, all these gay enemies, and you know, LGBTQI, PS5, HDMIs, and tell them and you know, have them catch a fade. Okay, fair enough. But you're 60 years old and clearly out of shape. So I love to see how that goes. I love to see that myself. I would pay good money to see Corey Holcomb defend his honor and his reputation in a ring of a certain dimension, having him run around, literally do some cardio to give someone a fade. I would love to see it. I'd love to see it. I really, really would. But again, you're affiliating with men who are indeed part of the Alphabet Gang. So you need to be careful, Corey. You need to be careful. Let's continue.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen on social media. More dudes who did not like Corey Holcomb, have never liked Corey Holcomb, are walking into an opportunity largely of a lifetime by saying, listen, Corey is not really built like that. Here's the opportunity to see if he really want to go ahead on and do that. And then what's going to happen is, let's say if that happens, the person's automatically going to gain a whole bunch of subscribers, a whole bunch of subs off of that narrative. And this is why it's just not good for influencers to ever go that route. You know, it's never good for influencers to ever talk about, you won't do this when I see you. There's somebody out there that want that smoke. Somebody out there want that smoke. And somebody out there want to paint you out like you're ducking the fade, like you're ducking them, like you scary. And again, this is the issue when you just don't leave things alone. Again, the whole situation with Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels, that was problematic. It really destroyed the both of them. Right now, we will believe that Corey Holcomb and what he's going through is getting the worst of that deal. And it's because of the Anton Daniels situation, which altogether that really didn't break him at that particular time.
But believe me, he is coming back. This man here is coming back, and he will see him in court. I can guarantee you that those allegations he launched at his daughter, that lead and a Negro ass law so eloquently pointed out is not defended by the Second Amendment. Yeah, they're going to come back to haunt him, and he's just building a case. Just saying. Look for it in the next year or so. Let's continue.
But the fallout from that, talking about Anton Daniels' underage daughter and wife, that just goes to a lot of people, shows a lot of people, no character, right? No character. You're willing to do anything, especially with a minor. So that is incredibly bad. Then the tape for Christina Payne comes out.
Oh,
okay,
there's that.
Get painted in a worse light. Then the whole situation with Darlene, that makes it worse. All right. So now people start building the case against you and your behavior towards women, your behavior towards people that are not men. And you know, hey, bruh, let's see if you're really about that, right? And ultimately, these things could easily be resolved if, number one, you have a publicist. All right. You have somebody in your corner that will tell you, listen, today is the 5150 show on Tuesday. The last thing that you need to do is to talk about this because you're not going to make it better.
Not exactly a good look for Corey Holcomb to depict his Anton Daniels family as monkeys, very Trump-like in his behavior, but he says he's a self-confessed dirtbag. So this is not beneath him. This is his character all the way down the line. Look forward to seeing him in court. TMZ, do what you will. Let's continue.
You're going to make it worse. You're most likely on live stream going to say something that is going to incur damage to the brand, and you're going to incur damage onto yourself. It is not fundamentally a good idea for you to talk about anything. If you feel like you're going to talk about anything, you should not even do the show. Because the more you talk and you agitate people, people are going to go out and look at what you've been saying in the past, whether you meant it or not, whether it's a joke or not. They're going to cut it up. Then once they cut it up, they're going to try to at least play what you said or paint the picture to a narrative of something else. And then it's going to cause more friction. Then you get a guy like Big Homie CC who don't like you. He gonna get on here and say, "You been ducking me. Why you been ducking me? You a buster. You scary. You talk all tough, but it's $100,000 for a celebrity boxing match." Again, he might not even know you personally or might not even want to do this and all this, but because your comments about young women and young girls and you put your hands on Christina Payne, come do it to me. I bet you won't do it to me. Then you have the same guy talking to Joe Budden telling him you won't do it to him. But Big Homie CC seems to be closer in size than him, Corey Holcomb, and Joe Budden. And again, you're going to get more call outs like this, that somebody ought to pull up on Corey. Somebody ought to do X, Y, and Z to Corey. And again, when you have mistakes like this, all of this can be resolved by doing what? Jumping out in front of it. Look, guys, I made a mistake. I'm gonna keep saying that. Shouldn't have said that. It was all my fault. I messed up. Okay. I was in the heat of the moment. I lost my cool. I lost my composure. I shouldn't have lost my composure. And you know what? Even though I had some disagreements with her, it was wrong for me to do what I did. Y'all are right to hold me accountable. And it's bad to put your hands on women. Then what would happen is it would stop all of the people. It would take all of the ammunition from these people you call haters. They wouldn't have a leg to stand on, right? They just
and I think O'Shea Duke Jackson said it right. I think this is a time for his benefit, for Corey Holcomb to step back, offer an apology, offer a mea culpa, take accountability for what he's done, and dial it back, because his enemies are forming all around him. They're literally forming. He's making enemies out of the living and the dead. And it's a shame that we have gone to these lengths and he's gone through this jackass ways, but to put it bluntly, but he could reverse all this. This is the olive branch to Corey Holcomb. Please redress your bad choices and make a full apology. Just, take a step back and realize what's going on here. There are legal cases being built against you. You have a huge, and I repeat, huge media company on your ass, Corey Holcomb, and they aren't going to stop until you take a step back and realize, you know what, I may want to stop myself from going any further and creating more enemies here. Not only in public life, but in private life as well. The guy who wants to fight, clearly wants to get some clout and some meat and some attention, but you can stop all this, Corey. You can literally stop all this. End the lies, end the deceit, and offer a mea culpa, offer a bit of an apology here, saying I was out of character, I have I lost it for a bit there, and it's time for me to bring this whole fiasco to an end. Try to quell any sort of lawsuit against Christina Payne, try to offer some sort of peace offering to Anton Daniels, even though you've that's coming. Believe me, that's coming. But all these things need to be addressed, Corey. You need to take a step back. You have the title of the show here, understood, but you need to take a step back here. You really do. You really do need to take a step back. You really need to see the forest for the trees and understand that the enemies are forming. You've insulted the living, you've insulted the dead, and now the karma isn't good. You need to understand that. You are not Jesus. You are not Moses. You are not any philosopher of a certain age. You're a very good comedian, yes, but you are acting like a jackass. Even one of my favorite performer of all time, Kanye, was acting like a jackass for a time. But you know what? He said to himself, you know what? Let me, I'm ruining my pocket. I'm ruining my pockets here. And you're ruining your pockets here. I'm saying this to you, Corey. You're ruining your pockets here. But even Kanye had to take a step back and say, you know what? I'm ruining my pockets here. I kind of like living the high life. I need to, step it back a notch or two. I may have these beliefs. That's fine. But, I need to take it back or two if I really want to, continue my career. And if you want to continue your career, you need to do that because you're losing money here, Corey. You're losing money. People won't book you for dates anymore. People won't watch your show anymore. You're making more enemies than friends. And you need to stop this. You really, really, really do. You need to take a step back, take a few weeks off, go on vacation, relax, come on back with a fresh mind, with a fresh outset, and make amends. Because quite simply, you got 5 YouTubers on your ass and more that are forming. More critics are out there. More enemies are surrounding you. And you don't need it. You're a good guy. I think you're a good guy. But right now you're acting like a jackass. So please stop. Let's continue.
There'd be no leg to stand on at all. They would have no real defense. Period. Okay? But then you don't do that. You do the opposite. You go 10 toes down against the people. You try to defend yourself against the people. You roast her. You don't take no accountability for your mistake. You make it inherently even worse. Then you get more problems for other podcasters. You get guys like this coming up there when really the stress that you set from the Backdoria crowd and, the so-called, demonic Backdoria crew could have all been stopped.
Oh, remember, if you're an enemy of Corey Holcomb, you're Backdoria. Just letting you know. You are Backdoria. You are the backiest of Backdorias. But don't tell him he's Backdoria too, because, those are fighting words. But again, he's going to sit down and tell you, those are fighting words. Let's continue.
Are diminished if you would have just said that. Then you could have went back onto the show. Of course, you're going to have some venues not want to deal with you. But the level of accountability would be like, you know what? All right. He didn't hit her. He pushed her in the face. That's still wrong. But he didn't hit her. He didn't beat on her. Maybe some people look at that and say it's a mistake. But you know what? He apologized. He apologized to her. He can make it right with her. And then what he can do is we could allow him to come back and bring him back into the graces, especially in the black comedy circuit, things like that. Even though it's wrong, it can happen. People can probably forgive that. Move on with your life. You make it worse. This is one of the examples of being worse. Now guys want to fight you over the fact that they feel like you're a buster. And then you're not responding to the guy. You ain't got to respond to the guy, but I'm just giving you an example. So guys, what do you think it's your boy Oshay?
Thank you very much, Oshay 2 Jackson, for his great investigative reporting and his commentary on this fiasco surrounding Corey Holcomb that's only getting worse. And let's sum up tonight's thoughts here and now. Corey, I believe you're a talented comedian. I believe you're a good man deep down. I believe that there is hope for you, but that is dimming fast. It is really, truly dimming ever so quickly. You have enemies forming on every side. They're clipping you up. They're showing how much of a jackass you are. You're on camera. You've got people wanting to fight you. You have people wanting to sue you. This is going to affect your bottom line. And if you want to keep distributing those $200 to those lovely ladies that you so eloquently describe as your BITCHs, you need to, I implore you to, cease and desist. Pull it back. Take a month off. Relax, come back with a fresh mind, attitude, and say, you know what? I went overboard on a few people, and I wish to apologize. That's it. Doesn't cost you anything. The deep, dark road you're going down right now, the enemies you're forming around you are not going to affect you in a positive way. You're acting like a jackass now, Corey. You really are. But so did Kanye. Kanye did. He did. For a time. Although he's genius, but he realized, you know what? I need to put out a full page ad in the New York Times, speak to a rabbi, a noted rabbi, and dial it back a bit. Because I got to make this paper. And I believe you should too, Corey. You need to make this paper. And the more that you choose this scorched earth policy and you affect your co-hosts who are innocent of all these, of this matter, period, the more you're going to realize that the life in your 60s are going to be not as easygoing as they could be, not as casual as they should be. You should. There's a saying, Corey. There's no fool like an old fool. You're an old fool, Corey. Right now, you're acting like an old fool. And no matter how much dye you put on your face, no matter how many hats you put on, no matter how youthful you look, you're looking like an old fool. And I only pray that you see sense and make things right. But right now, Corey, and I'll say for the cheap seats, you are now, and I say this in memory of Kevin Samuels, R.I.P. Godfather, you are a jackass. At this time, you're a jackass. And you need to look at yourself in the mirror, see what you created, and govern yourself accordingly. Thank you very much for joining me here on Talk Live. I know, Corey, there's a lot of big words here that you may want to look up. So if you can ask your lawyer to do that for you, it'd be greatly appreciated. But again, comment down below in the comment section your feelings on this fiasco, where if Corey should amend matters with his newfound enemies, alive and dead, and how, if indeed Corey Holcomb is a jackass at the moment, or if he is, the backdooria, the backdoory private investigator that he so eloquently puts himself out to be. And I thank you very much for joining me, taking you on this journey here on Talk Live. A load of comments here tonight. And great participation tonight, but I wish you a good weekend. Listen, something tells me we're going to be back here on Friday night, so we're going to continue this on Friday nights. Corey, Friday night Corey fights. That'll be the new theme of this thing until it reaches its natural end. But something tells me it's not going to for the nearest future, because quite simply, listen, there will be legal actions being made here. Christina Payne will sue him, I believe. Anton Daniels will sue him for his rhetoric against his daughter. And we're going to keep this going. So, you're giving us content creators all the ammunition we need. So thank you very much for joining me here on Talk Live on IG and YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Corey, seek the help you need. But right now, you're acting like a jackass. We're going to say goodnight on Instagram, and we're going to say goodnight on YouTube.